I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is don't fight to keep people in your life. This is a very important rule for all types of relationships. It's just as applicable to platonic, familial, and professional relationships. The advice is actually fairly straightforward. Don't fight to keep someone in your life. Or to say the same thing in another way, never stand in the way of someone leaving. If someone wants to leave, let them. Let them go. Bye-bye. All the best. Now, I understand that this advice can be hard to hear. When someone you don't want to leave starts to walk out of your life, it can induce a panicked, urgent, desperate sensation. That's okay. You can feel that sensation and not act on it. And it's very important not to act on it for at least two reasons. In the first place, you have to appreciate that fighting to keep someone in your life is ineffective. Like it doesn't work. If you try to prevent someone who wants to leave a relationship from leaving, what's the most likely outcome? That's right. They fight harder to leave. When you fight to keep someone, you end up with more fighting. And why would you want to increase the amount of conflict in your life or to maintain a high conflict relationship? Like anything worth fighting for, a warm and loving and supportive relationship will be destroyed in the fighting for it. And this means that even if you win, even if you somehow succeed in preventing someone from leaving, you have at best achieved a very Pyrrhic victory, whereby you likely lost more than you gained. What's more, succeeding in preventing someone from leaving for the moment typically only delays their escape. It is, at best, a temporary solution. It might work for a time, but the mechanism of action isn't very flattering. That is, some people stay because they're afraid of the escalating conflict, or they feel guilty for causing you pain, or they feel pity at your awkward humiliation. But these feelings will change soon enough. And once the fear or the guilt or the pity disappears, they will come once more into emotional contact with whatever reasons were motivating them to leave to begin with. And they will very likely try to leave the relationship again, though they will likely do so even more discreetly this time. My personal attitude is that I am an anti-cult. Think about a cult. A cult is easy to get into and hard to get out of. I'm the total opposite. I am hard to get into and very easy to get out of. It's not that the door isn't locked, it's that there is no door. The exit is always open and unobstructed. And just like an airline stewardess, I always make sure that people know where it is located. And I think this is useful for a number of reasons. Imagine being on a high precipice with no guardrail. What does awareness of that situation tend to do to people? They watch their step. They hone their focus. And they don't do anything foolish. This is because cognizance of potential risk inspires caution, which actually prevents a great number of avoidable problems. It's paradoxical, but feeling too safe is responsible for the lion's share of unnecessary accidents. This is because when people feel too safe, they feel increasingly emboldened to do all kinds of ridiculous things. Don't give those with whom you're in a relationship the impression that they will be ensured of your continued presence in their lives, irrespective of what they say or do. So if someone wants to leave, if a friend is taking a different path in life, if a woman thinks she can do better, then let them go and wish them well. At least in your heart, wish them well. Thank them for accompanying you as long as they did and part graciously. Now, when someone is heading for the door, an impulse might arise in you to either justify your value or remind the one leaving of all the value you've provided in the past. Surrendering to either of these impulses would be a mistake. This is because the game does not run on gratitude. People are more likely to feel resentful of your reminding them of your good works than grateful. And in any case, people only lose what they still want but haven't yet been given. So this isn't likely to work. Furthermore, if you've gotten to the point when you have to remind someone of your value, then your words aren't going to do.
Sorry, he used here, I wouldn't say a swear word, but an inappropriate word, which I don't really want to have anyone hear. But he basically, what he said, if they don't value you, your words are in any case going to mean nothing to them. Go to those who value you and get out of all situations where people don't value you and ongoing moaning, complaining, or fighting or begging is taking place. Get rid of those relationships. Unless obviously these are marriage relationships or children or whatever, where you're in a covenant with God, those you have to fix. But let me tell you, life is too short in business, in investment deals, in friendships, or in courting relationships to sit in a sinking boat.
Furthermore, if you've gotten to the point when you have to remind someone of your value, then your words aren't going to do. If they can't see it already, your words will not reveal it to them. When people have gotten to the point where they are threatening to leave a relationship, then words are likely to be insufficient to change their minds. It's also degrading to justify yourself. It's a form of begging. And few people are going to base an ongoing relationship on pity. Don't give them the chance. And here's the last piece. If someone actually leaves, like they literally walk out, then never, ever, ever chase them down. If someone storms out of your house, you don't run out into the street and beg them to return. If someone runs out on you, you can decide whether or not to accept them back into your life. However, if they run out, the bare minimum required effort to resume a relationship is they have to walk back in. That is the bare minimum. You don't go to them, they have to come to you. And if they don't, they are not yet sufficiently interested or ready to have a relationship with you. So why would you go out of your way to accommodate them? And this can potentially be hard to accept. But the fact of the matter is that two people can't have a relationship if one person doesn't want to. And if that one person leaves, then the ball is in that person's court. And while this may be difficult, just remember that their absence can create a space for someone who is authentically enthusiastic about having a relationship with you to come into your life.
This point is enormous. I wish someone had told me at university this in bad relationships, dating, courting relationships, or in business. The opportunity cost of the wrong people is costing those seats for the right people who value you, inspire you, energize you, and like working with you. This is huge. The opportunity cost of the wrong people in your business or in relationships, dating relationships, as I said, I'm not talking about marriage or children here, is enormous. You could have already lost years sitting and complaining and moaning and begging with the wrong people, whereas you could have had the right people in your business or in your dating relationships, courting relationships, who love you, value you, and contribute to you.